child, or, give you more or me more time because our parents didn't work with us on our homework.
Mm-hmm.
So now they take away from the classroom because we're having to help these 3 kids that didn't get the homework help that they needed. So that's why I say nurture versus nature, because I believe it all starts at home. And it's also a proven fact that, I say proven fact,
supported fact.
So there you go. Supported fact that, 2-family households have more productive members than 1-family households.
And that's because why?
My personal opinion, or because if you're a single parent, like my dad was a single parent, okay? He had to drive 4 kids, My dad worked 2 jobs. He worked from, 7 to 5 or whatever it was. And then he would leave and go work at his buddy, because my dad's a mechanic. His buddy had a shop. He would go work at his shop from 6 to, 10, 11, 12, midnight, whatever it was. And then on weekends, he was over there working, because he had to provide. Was he able to do our homework with us, or make sure we're doing what we're supposed to do, or make sure we're going to school, or, not being butt heads and getting suspended from school, and, make sure we're passing our grades and being those productive members of society, and sit down and having dinner with us and, talking to us about, hormones and, all these things and things that parents should talk to people about, and relationships and this and that. No, he wasn't. He did not have the time. He did not have the time to do it. And I faulted him a lot when I was younger. I did, but I don't now, because he did with the best. He did the best he knew how to with the situation that he was in. And I've had those conversations with him now. And if we could go back and change it, he would. But at the time, he did the best to the best of his ability what he had.
You can't make lemonade with limes, so makes sense.
Right.
Total sense.
But if my mom would have been there, she would have, been working and this and that. He wouldn't have had to work those hours, and they both could have been there at night, and, they could have helped and, picked up each other's slack, and, he could have talked, this and that. She could talk about this or whatever. That's why I say it's more, from my personal experience, 2-family households, not always, but for a majority, produce more productive people and leaders than single-family households.
There's the ability to divvy up the load and work as a team. And I definitely believe that having the right partner, and this isn't just in a family, but having the right partner or team assembled around you. And you said this, right? You don't have to be the smartest in the room, but you have to make sure you're surrounding yourself with the people who are smarter than you in certain aspects, because that's what makes you unstoppable.
When you're picking a partner, marry somebody smarter than you.
Mm-hmm.
That's my philosophy. That's why I married Jasmine. But she's really smart. She's very intelligent. She's beautiful and all those great things. But
all that great stuff.
Marry, right? But you can't, pick a partner or marry somebody based on you both can't be doing the same thing. Because there's yin yang and all that good stuff. Because our differences, the way we're raised is different.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to come from different aspects. Like you just said, we can have, pick up the workload. Like there's certain things she doesn't understand that I went through. There's certain things that she went through that I don't understand that we can help my son with.
Mm-hmm.
Like racial issues at school. When people say things to my son or this and that, hey, I'm Anglo-Saxon. I don't know. I can't speak on it. I didn't live it.
Right.
She can have those kind of conversations that I have no clue about.
Yeah.
Like being in the military, or why people go off to war and die. I can have that conversation with my son.
Mm-hmm.
She can't have that conversation because she's never lived it.
Right.
Why do you go to college after, he's asked these questions like, well, why did daddy go to college, 10 years after, graduating, and why did mom go right away? Well, we have to give them our different experiences, because she went right away. I waited and went, and, so there's those, all those things play.
And you're in the same position now. You're both doctoral. Which just shows, like, you could take multiple paths and be in the same spot.
Yeah, you can.
Be mad, be glad.
And we use the example to him, like, which pathway do you want to take? Which one's easier for you? Not saying one's easier than the other, but if I had to go back and change it, I would have went to college first. I would have, because I see the opportunities it could have afforded me in the military, for example. Making more money and this and that, whatever. But hindsight's 2020, so.
I will say this, though. You're able to now show, how to be a student who cares about what they're learning. Because wouldn't you rather, go to school and have an idea of something that he likes and loves and see how successful you can be in ensuring, like, okay, I'm going to school, but, like, I'm not just going to be willy-nilly. Like, no, I like business. It's applicable to me. It makes sense. Right. Rather than just being like, I'm just going to go and, like, figure it out, which is fine. That is totally fine. But I am a big advocate for a gap year in the sense of I would rather someone take a gap year, work, gain real-life experience so that they can go to college and be like, okay, yeah, this is where I want to be. I know this is how I'm going to hit the grind and I'm going to work.
Right.
And be able to have those conversations in the classroom and be like, no, when I was working in the Army doing this, like the students who have served and they're able to provide that perspective to the peers when I'm up there teaching, it's just like you said, I don't have that experience, so I can't speak on it. And I don't want to speak on it because how, in a sense, disrespectful would that be for me to go up there and act like I'm an expert? I'm like, yeah, the Army does this and you have to do this and this is the time and this. Look, it wouldn't make sense. And it just would be, in my opinion, somewhat of a slap in the face because, like, I didn't serve. I didn't have the experiences that you had or that anyone who served has had.
Well, even if you just take that in general, if somebody would have went to the workforce and did whatever and then went to college, does that make them better and different because they went to work first and then, decided to go to school versus you going and, Jasmine going straight out of high school to college? Does that make it their experiences better and different? No, just their experience,
Right. Thoughts for the audience, any wisdom that you'd like to impart?
Vote at every level.
Vote at every level. I don't have a real sign off yet, so okay. Vote at every level. Call your mom. Tell her you love her. Yeah. Yes.